is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy Frie back with us, and also joining us here is Tiffany Rockwell as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everything at the library this morning?
It's not open yet, but it's
So great right now. It's
Right
nice
now.
and quiet, and
Yes.
a good time to read while you're there.
Yeah.
But, of course, it's been a busy summer.
Yes, it has.
I know you guys have had the summer reading program going, and we're about ready to wrap that up. So hopefully
Right.
families have been able to take advantage of that and not only get their reading in, but get some of the prizes and do some of the other activities that are
Yes.
part of the summer reading program. I guess if you haven't, you got a week left. I don't know if you can finish the whole program in that, but you could certainly,
Come on down.
I'd never a wrong time to start reading, so come on and get involved here. We can get the couple of books read and things before they
Right.
go back to school here. So if you're just hearing about it, you're behind the 8 ball, but come on down.
Yeah.
But now that I guess really you guys are kind of almost shifting to back to school mode now, right? It's kind of I know you guys kind of have just like anything else, like the seasons and things, and,
Right.
but yours kind of coincide with the school year a little bit, and
Yes.
because that's families' lives coincide with the school year, and that's kind of so you guys are probably like, all right, we're getting out of the head of summer mode and into the head of back to school.
Yes.
Which means there's a lot going on for back to school too, or
Right.
after the summer reading program.
Correct.
Yeah, good deal. So put these things on your calendar. I always tell people, especially if you got families with kids, but really anybody, follow or like or whatever you want to call on that, the Roswell Public Library's Facebook
Yes.
or Instagram page, or both, depending if you use both social media. Those are great ways to kind of stay up to date on everything we're going to talk about here, but everything outside of that, like when you guys have various arts and crafts nights or things like that, the projects are put up on the Facebook page or Instagram, and you can take the pictures and see all that. But you can stay up to date. It's like, hey, don't forget we got a STEM related thing that's coming up this weekend. And
Right.
it's always on there. So please like and follow. That's the modern age of putting things up on the refrigerator.
Yes.
Like when we were younger, we used to put schedules, like everyone's sports schedules or school schedules. They did get taped or magnetized to the refrigerator. Facebook's our new
Yes.
refrigerator magnet.
And if they need more information, they can also call the library anytime, and we'll be happy to let them know what's going on.
Yeah, and I think you all print out calendars and things too. So if you're like, no, my magnet thing is the magnet thing. All right, well then we can get you printed off, put one up on the refrigerator there for you.
Well, and speaking of which, we also have like a little brochure
Okay.
of fall activities. I can hand that to you so you
Yeah.
can take a look. Maybe it's something you're interested in doing.
Okay.
But yeah, we have things coming up, like our grand reopening of our children's area.
Very good. So yeah, you got lots of stuff coming up in the fall here.
Right.
Story times, all the things that we kind of expect from, like, especially pre-COVID. That was kind of, a couple times a week there were story times. There's just always something all geared towards different age groups. Generally, like you said, in the mornings when the elementary kids are in school, you guys got stuff for like the toddlers and the preschool going on in the mornings there, or homeschooled.
Right.
And then usually in the afternoons, like 3 o'clock, then the elementary age kids are off school, and so you guys would have things that, and then usually like on the weekends and stuff, you guys have a lot of stuff for teens and all that. So all that's starting to come back again.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good deal. So do we want to just start going through some of this stuff, or do you want to?
Right. Well, that's going to start in September. What's coming up, like I'll say, in August?
Okay, yeah, let's get to that first.
Yeah. Well, so actually, we're going to be at the farmers market on August 7th, and we'll be giving out information that day.
Okay, so that'll be
And
2 Saturdays from now.
Correct. And we're going to also have their Barbara Chavez, who couldn't be with us today, going to be demonstrating solar ovens, how they work at the...
Oh, nice.
And then we'll have, of course, information about library programs that are coming up.
All right. Are they cooking food in the solar ovens for everybody?
Well, when she did it at the library, they were melting, seeing how quick things melted. I don't know if we're going to actually cook.
Okay. I don't know. Well, let's melt some cheese.
Yeah. On a tortilla, something.
It's like, remember like the Easy Bake bake ovens for your kids.
That's what everybody was saying. It reminds them of the Easy Bake Ovens.
I gotta imagine the solar's gotta be stronger than that light bulb, right? I mean,
probably that time of day. Yes.
That light bulb cook a cake. It'd take. I mean, we could. It's the sun. It's the most powerful energy source in the galaxy, right? Surely we could whip out a tortilla.
Not like today.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I hope not too.
Hope we whip out a quesadilla off this thing or something.
We'll make some pancakes, something.
But that's cool. So look for that out at the garden farmers market on the 7th.
Right.
So it won't be this Saturday, but I think
the following
Saturday. Man, is it already that quick?
Yes.
Golly.
And then we have the grand reopening of the children's area. We even have invited the mayor to be there for our ribbon cutting. And we're gonna, have a costume character, I should say.
Okay.
And she's pointing to me for a reason.
And we'll have balloons and games, and so that should be really fun.
Just kind of welcome the kids to the new kids section here,
right?
The remodeled, revamp. Now, this was this a lot of this from the damage to the water stuff they had?
Right.
This is
correct.
We're finally, I know, like, even prior to that, you guys were kind of tweaking and redoing the kids section a little bit. This just kind of forced your hand a little bit and said, we're going to have to fix it sooner rather than later here.
Yes.
So this is great news. Because it was weirdly timed. Because COVID hit, and then like a week or two later, if I remember it, that's when the pipes burst and everything. It was just, pardon the pun, but when it rained, it poured, and it literally did that here. And So now we are a year later. We're back to less COVID stuff, which means we can have more activities in there. And it just so happens that while you're here come check out the new kids section. We got it all fixed up and new, and which I'm guessing too. That kind of gives you a chance to kind of tweak it to work a little bit better in your favor. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing, like, education, everything, ideas and how we do things change.
Right.
When that kids area was originally designed, the conceptually how we do kids areas probably is a little different thinking now than it was when that was originally designed. So now you're like, hey, back then we thought it was good to put the teen books with this, but whatever.
We know to separate the teen books away from the children's books now. And
now it's kind of like, well, now with the little kids, if you make them like a little cubby area, they're going to be more apt to read in there. So we're going to, kind of like if everybody ever goes to the Artesia Public Library, they built that thing, I don't know, 5, 8, 10 years ago, whenever that thing was built. It's a beautiful facility. And now, granted, they have help, so they can build really cool places, look like arcs and stuff like that.
Right.
We're relying a little bit on city funding. But anyway, what I mean is they create spaces over there, and that's kind of when they built that was kind of the ideology at the time, and now you guys can incorporate some of that here because, hey, burst pipe creates an opportunity. Let's do that. So, but come see it.
And we're going to actually, down the road, we don't have it yet, but we're going to have a boat in the children's area. But everything is still evolving. We're still adding things in.
Sure.
And we also have a artist named Taja. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Forgive me if it's wrong.
Okay.
And she's doing a skyline of Roswell so you should come over and check that out. That's pretty cool.
Like a mural or a painting, whatever you call it. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a mural.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty cool. And she also did the
Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons on these on the
pillars.
Okay. On the pillars in the children's area. It's really cool.
That does sound cool. Yeah. So come see it.
Yes.
Come check it out. Come explore the Children's Library. And
they're really quite beautiful.
And, bring your family or adults. You're coming, you don't have to pick out a book from the children's side, but come check it out. And then head over to the adult section and pick out a book.
Well, many adults have just gone over there to look at the artwork.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's that in and of itself. Mm-hmm. Maybe, would they frown upon you if you grabbed a newspaper and sat over by
Absolutely
that section?
No.
I don't know if you're like, I don't have any kids here. I just want to look at the mural.
Well, we have our eyes on you, so.
Make sure you just keep reading your paper there. But and of course, one thing I want to mention for families here, especially that I know you don't want to say this yet, but you're going to be gearing up for back to school in a couple of weeks here and everything else. Mm-hmm. Don't forget the library is a great resource to help with tutoring and all that. Your library card that, if you're a member in good standing with that, not only do you have access to everything inside the library, but all of its online services and that as well. And through that, like if you need help with tutoring, if your child needs extra time on particular subject. I mean, they go from elementary up to college level tutoring in there. This is all resources available to you free of charge. Free of charge, just by picking up and being a member of the Roswell Public Library.
And we also are offering free printing for homework assignments only for children.
Great. So if they got to print off stuff and you're like, we
don't have a printer,
don't have a printer at the house, or don't want to pay a couple bucks copying and all that other mess, or going to one of the stores.
Exactly.
Library, come and help you do that stuff. As long as it's for schoolwork.
Correct.
And they can tell you the difference. Like if you look out and it's for a dance tomorrow night, we're going to sniff that one out.
You have to pay.
It's like announcing a dance at your house on Friday. It doesn't feel like homework to me.
And I think they would even probably print it out. They would just send it out through their on their phone.
You're right. I'm doing old school. I just showed my age, didn't I? We didn't print out a flyer for a party. We just get on our text thing or Twitter or whatever. Sorry, I got old school on you, man. Sorry about that. But no one's trying to slip that one. But if you need copies, it's free here. What else we want to mention?
Tiffany is going to be running our Girls Who Code. And
let's talk with
this is a new program that we're going to be starting this fall. It's for grades. Well, mostly for grades 7 through 12 girls.
Okay, so middle school up to high school.
Doing just girls this year. And yes, it's going to start August the 21st. It's going to run for 10 weeks.
Okay.
And we're focusing on coding because we want to get the girls into the tech.
Okay. So is this like you started like the basics of coding and all that?
I was a programmer before I became a librarian.
Okay.
So, but yes, it's...
So I'm going to ask a question. This may again, like my flyer idea, be a bit outdated, but I'm curious.
It's fine.
Yes.
Because I remember I'm old enough. I'm of the age where like our first home computers were like Apple IICs.
Yes, I learned on those.
Yeah, that was my very first home computer was an Apple IIC.
Yes.
For anybody that owned one of those knows that at that time, unless you were pretty savvy with a computer, wasn't really a whole lot you could do with the thing.
No.
One of the things that I did do was you could go buy like computer magazines and programming, and in these magazines they would literally have just pages of code.
Absolutely.
And if you copied and got all the code in correct, every little colon and semi, I mean it's a monotonous task. If you got all that right, you got to play like Hangman or something at the end.
Yes.
And that was kind of it. They give you the code. It's like, do all this code, and at the end you can play Hangman.
Yep. My first one was Pythagorean theorem.
Okay.
Which was super fun for a middle school student to learn.
This is exciting. We're talking light years away from the Oregon Trail and all the ones that people talk about now.
Right.
But, I mean, do you go that basic where they're going into the DOS and doing that kind of thing? Or is that too old?
Yeah, these are more entertaining. Like this is this is Scratch. It's something called Scratch, but it's more like sentence structure where they just connect. It's pictures almost.
Okay.
It's they just connect and they like one of the ones that I was testing them out, and you can do like it's almost like a comic almost. Where it's a dinosaurs and they play on the screen.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
So it's more advanced and modernized.
Yeah.
I didn't know if...
And it only takes like maybe mine that I'd created was like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And you're done.
And then I didn't know because like even Windows and things aren't even DOS based anymore. So I was like, I didn't know if you still had to do the DOS style things to get anything done, or if it's a whole other ball of wax.
Scratch was actually created by an MIT like class or something, but yes.
Gotcha. So it's way more, which makes sense. I mean, I would hope it would be, we still aren't.
It's much more user-friendly.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like saying, I still don't have a crank. I've got to turn to get my car going, and I certainly don't want to go back to that time. They've advanced.
But there's like YouTube videos of like preteens that
are creating, doing this stuff.
Love it. They just do it for fun.
That's great. And then I guess that's kind of the basis for everything else. So if you're getting that down, then in theory you've got the the core fundamentals of writing a game or writing any other software program or something like that. Really cool. Yes. Now, again, this is for girls 7th grade through 12th grade.
Yes, that's correct. It starts August the 21st.
Okay,
it's going to run for 10 weeks.
So they can just come by the library and sign up there?
Actually, they can go to the website that I've got listed on here. It's hq.girlswhocode.com.
Okay.
And if they use this code, the code is NM36172. That's specific to our library.
Okay.
And they can sign up online.
Perfect. Is there a link on the Facebook or Instagram pages they can go to?
It's on Facebook and it's on our library website.
Okay. So you can find the link pretty easy there. And if you can't find it, just call the library and they'll be happy to guide you to that. But sounds pretty good if you're a lady that 7th grade to 12th grade and would love to learn more about computer programming and software and really all of that inner working, and that'll give you a good foundation, and then you can start your formal training if you want to pursue careers and things like that, or if it's just for a hobby. Or I would even think,
we're going to do more than Scratch, so it's not just Scratch.
Well, and here's the part that I don't think folks should realize here is, regardless of where you are in your passive career pursuit, whether it's to be a dancer or an engineer or a mathematician or start your own business, whatever it is, making widget A, B, or C, or whatever. Regardless of any of that, all these skills translate and are useful in that, because I don't care where you're at in life and what you're doing in life, you're going to be doing something in front of a computer that requires interaction, software things, and to have that understanding is going to serve you well, even if you have no plans to write code or write a piece of software someday. You never know when that kind of stuff will come in handy.
Yeah, it's fun to know what goes on in the background too.
Exactly. Yeah, you understand it. You fix your own problems.
Right.
Yeah, when you go through and your computer, because let's face it, everybody's computer, you want to throw it out the window at some point. I don't care who you are, where you are, and how much time you spend on a computer. You spend any kind of time, there's going to be a day where you just want to chuck that sucker right out the window. Some more than once a day. But good deal. So yeah, sign up for this, and next thing you know, you might be setting the path for you're the one who's created the next big game for EA, or the next software program that every business on the planet has a standard operating procedure for their company. You know?
Right.
You'd be the next Bill Gates. You never know.
Or Melinda.
Or Melinda Gates, yeah. Who's about to be the richer one now? I'm not really. I think Melinda. I don't know. But maybe Bill Gates. Bill Gates 20 years ago, not Bill Gates. I guess I should have clarified there. Steve Wozniak. Be the next Steve Wozniak. Go down the list here. Good deal. What else do we want to make sure we let folks know about?
Let's see. That August 3rd, we're going to start our adult coloring program. So if adults stop in at the library, they'll have coloring sheets and pencils, and they just take it and go sit somewhere and just start coloring.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with this, adult coloring is kind of a trend that started up a couple years ago, and basically it's a stress relief for adults.
Yes.
Now the coloring books are a little bit more advanced. These aren't like the ones your kids get. So you're like, oh, that ain't hard. These require a little bit more attention to detail and coloring skills. But the whole thought behind it is it allows you a chance to just focus on coloring, de-stress, just a way to kind of help you, and who knows, maybe you turn it into a hobby or a thing that's something you do the rest of your life. But if you'd like to try it, library's a great way to do it. You don't have to shell out all the money, because
it's free.
Yeah, it can get kind of expensive buying all the equipment the first time, and then if you do all that and you're like, well, this is not my cup of tea, well, you just wasted a bunch of money. The library, you come out, try that, and you're like, maybe color a picture or two, and then you're like, hey, you know what, I kind of dug this. Then invest some money in your stuff, turn it into a social thing. That's kind of, I know in years past, before COVID, when this was kind of a weekly thing, it was just as much a gathering of people as it was a, hey, we're here to color. It was more meet,
it was
make
more
some
of
friends.
a socialized thing.
Kind of like Legos.
Yeah.
Legos and coloring books seem to make friends, and I don't care what age you are, what group you are. Put a pile of Legos or a bunch of coloring books on the floor. People just gather and have fun.
Legos coming later in the fall. It's coming.
Just saying.
There you go.
You want to make friends? Coloring books and Legos.
Yes.
And cheese sandwiches, and everybody's happy.
Yeah. So our coloring thing is going to be Tuesdays from 5 to 6:30. It's every Tuesday starting August 3rd. So.
Excellent.
So anytime, can't make the first one, just come to the next one.
Yeah. It's going to be a monthly thing, and it really is.
It's going to be weekly.
Or a weekly thing, I'm sorry. It really, I know some people kind of like, oh, really? Especially men. I'm sure a few men are like, come on, coloring book, wait, we 7? What are we doing here? But, it is kind of fun. I mean, to be honest, I love it because if you're kind of creative or have a creative, like, desire, but your desire doesn't match your skill set, if that makes sense. Yes. Like, I like creative and being creative, but I can't cut a straight line or something. I don't have the skill set. Coloring, like, it kind of gives you, because it gives you a guide. You get it, and by the end of the day, you feel like you've made something creative, and so it's great for all skill levels, whether you've got that ability or you just, oil and water makes mud every time for you. Just happens to happen that way. I get you. I'm one of those people.
Yes.
No matter how right you think you do, it just doesn't come out right. So.
Yeah.
What else do we want to mention?
The only thing we're pretty much done, but I just want to remind everybody, August 28th to come for if they can. It starts at 11 a.m., the grand reopening of our children's area.
Mark it on your calendars. The 28th, there's going to be all kinds of
fun activities,
fun stuff. Bring the whole family. Come out and, we'll talk more about it as we get closer because we're still a little over a month away from that. But yeah, put it on your calendars. The grand reopening of just in time for back to school here. I think we'll be in school a week or two by then. But by then, you're probably really ready to, all right, let's get the kids to the library now. And so come out for the grand opening and everything else. And pick your spot. I think that's kind of, I like when you come back in the new, I think like kids, it'll be regulars. They're kind of going to be out scoping their cubby or place of where they can kind of go hide and read.
Right.
Which is where you need.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Excellent. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Come by the library. Follow or like the Roswell Public Library on Facebook or Instagram, or go to their website. You'll find a link to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov. But I never remember the actual website for the Roswell. It used to be like something 405. I know they've redone all that. So I don't know. Just you can Google. If
you Google Roswell Public Library, Roswell, New Mexico.
Put the NM in, unless you want to learn about the Georgia Library.
Exactly.
Which is fine. It's a bit of a commute to get any books. But learn about their library. But I learned a lot about their police department. I've learned about some of their parks. I've learned a lot about Roswell, Georgia. I feel like I know a little bit about that place.
Just a little.
Never set foot. But please, follow that. And like I said, we got about a week or two left of the summer. The summer reading program going on. I know we're a little late to complete that, but if you got some family trips or something coming up, let's get your kids reading. The more they're reading this summer, the easier it's going to be when they go back to school here in a couple weeks. So hopefully they've been reading regularly throughout the summer. If not, let's start getting them in, pick up a book or two, and let's see if we can get them reading a few books here this week, or at least, and then, getting them into that mindset of that again and helping them out with that, because it's especially the younger kids when they're in that fundamental developing these reading and writing and those basic skills. There's so much time's lost in those 2 months that they're out. Sometimes that you need to kind of keep that nourishment going a little bit. You don't have to be schooled the whole time, but keep them actively using these skills till they become second nature for them.
And if they're not big on wanting to read chapter books, there are graphic novels there. So
yeah, absolutely. Reading's reading.
Exactly.
Now, granted, subject matter is appropriate for ages and things, but reading a magazine or a graphic novel or a comic book, to me is just you're reading the story, you're following it. Yes, you have pictures as aids. So what? And you're learning to read. You're using those skills. What better can that help you independently learn how to read by using pictures and things? That's problem solving skills. These are all developing all of that by doing things like looking at comic books and stuff like that. So don't knock it. It's all good.
Right.
So awesome. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share?
No, I think we covered it all.
And then don't forget, ladies, if you wanna learn coding and tech things here, sign up. Again, it's for girls, 7th grade up through 12th grade. Yes. You'll find links at the library's website.
Right.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, and
I'm usually the one that answers.
And we'll be happy to get you in that information and everything you need. So good deal. Well, thank you guys. Stay dry.
Yeah, it's just windy
cool.
now.
I don't know what to tell you. Stay cool or dry, or both. And we'll see you guys next time. Here,
all right.
Okay? All right. Take care.
Take
Have
care.
a good weekend.
You too.
All right. It is 7:48. Let's